PayTM.
Helping us pay our bills this week is PayTM Money.
On this episode of Paisa Vaisa, the Bangalore recordings continue. Yes, I will be talking with Srinivasan Ranganathan, aka Ranga. Ranga is a high-end corporate trainer and a visiting professor at ISB Hyderabad. We are going to talk about funky stuff. We're going to talk about mindsets and personalities that stop us when it comes to financial freedom, and how do you get over that? This is really interesting stuff, guys. Stay tuned for that. Yeah, I get that. If you're new to investments, you got to really sit and think, what are your risk-taking abilities? Are you low risk, high risk? Guess what? The PayTM Money app, you can actually assess your risk-taking abilities just by answering some questions, easy questions. And when you answer these questions, the app will guide you to take better investment decisions based on your risk profile that it will assess for you. So download the PayTM Money app on the Android Play Store or the Apple App Store, और म्यूचुअल फंड्स के लिए भी पेटीएम करो. Folks, welcome to Paisa Vaisa. I'm your host Anupam Gupta B50 on Twitter, and this is the Bangalore special. Today's episode is the mindset special. Relax, guys. It's not about hypnotism or stuff. We're going to talk about the way we think about money and how that holds us back from achieving financial freedom. My guest today is Srinivasan Ranganathan, aka Ranga. Ranga is a high-end corporate trainer for the last 21 years and also a visiting professor at ISB Hyderabad. Ranga mentors transformations, and today he's going to talk to us about mindsets when it comes specifically to financial freedom. Stuff like mental stuff, baggage, and all the stuff that's there in our head that stops us from achieving our goals. Ranga knows this because he does a lot of corporate seminars, he talks to a lot of people, and so he knows exactly about this. Ranga, welcome to the show. Thank you so much for doing this for us. Can you please introduce yourself, a little bit of background to our listeners before we go to the main topic?
Hey, thanks a ton, Anupam. It's been a great, day, and I've been looking forward to this for the last couple of days.
Thank you.
In fact, I wouldn't be exaggerating if I say I didn't sleep at all last night.
Oh,
okay. So I felt very good about this, and a couple of words about myself. Basically, I'm a techie, like a computer engineer, always wanting to be working with technology and not with people. The transition happened once I aligned myself to the vision of Dr. Abdul Kalam in terms of building India. Then quit our jobs and started my own company into consulting space. Then in the last 3 years, we have kind of stopped that also, and then we are focusing exclusively on building India, specifically wealthy India. Coming from a very typical background of a middle-class South Indian, the conditioning that was existing in my head was not oriented towards money making at all.
Sure.
So then when the transition happened, I realized that it was a very brilliant and very beautiful transition. I wanted to share that knowledge with everybody.
Fantastic. So let's just get into this. Okay, mindsets, right? This is the way that our mental framework is. It probably comes from our culture, from parenting, whatever it is. So first talk to us about the concept of mindsets, and then let's get into specific mindsets that we have.
Absolutely. As you all know, I'm not trying to be technical here, but I just give in about a minute, I'll share with you what I mean by mindsets. Our consciousness is divided into layers. The outermost is conscious mind, where we think and we talk. And the subconscious mind is the one that is driving a whole lot of our thought process and our verbal articulation. It also drives many times our actions. Now, I've seen many people who wanting to be rich, but actually they are not rich, and they blame it on the stars. And so what I have found is I've gone and studied people who have actually made a lot of money. I've studied people who actually have stayed without money. And I've studied people who aspire to have money, but they don't have it. So I've gone and checked with everybody, and then I realized that everything is in the way you're conditioned from the time you're born. And that conditioning drives a whole lot of our decisions. Wow. So our belief systems need to be relooked at. And that's a very painful process. People find it difficult to rewrite their belief systems, So that's the context. Now, for example, knowing which mutual fund is better, or should I go for a mutual fund or a stock? Should I do a fundamental analysis or a technical analysis? All these are at a skill level.
Wow.
What if that person believes that money is evil? Nobody do.
Oh, okay. You can't go forward from there.
Yeah, so you can't go forward from there. You make that person attend some workshops, make him read some books. He will do all this. He will build knowledge on how to make money, but he will not make an attempt. And why he doesn't make an attempt is because deeply inside he has a wrong view of money. Okay, so many mindsets have been tracked. I'm going to share just a few of the mindsets that I'm going to do. My context is completely Indian. Okay, because the mindsets which an American has or a Britisher has can be completely different from what we have been involved with. And to a large extent, I'm also going to come from where I did a research on myself to find out what were the mindsets that were blocking me from making money. Now, let's understand this well. Suppose if I believe money is evil due to the scriptures, which say, don't harness money power, harness knowledge. Okay. Or somebody says, if you have money, you'll become arrogant. And I hold that belief in my mind that the more rich I become arrogant. And I hold on to these beliefs, and as a result of which the money production doesn't happen. Okay. I'm going to share with the audience a few mindsets. The first mindset that I was suffering from was Lakshmi and Saraswati don't get along well.
Oh, okay.
I'm talking about the context of South India.
Yeah.
Means what? Means you can either be knowledgeable or be rich, and you can't be both.
Wow, okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now, this has been told to me from the time I was maybe 4 years, 5 years, and I've grew up with this belief, right? Then whenever I see rich people, I'll say, oh, okay, they're rich people, they're not knowledgeable. Or when I see very knowledgeable people, I say, oh, they must be poor.
Wow.
And somewhere deeply, I accepted that. And that was the first hurdle I faced when I wanted to actually make money. Then when I have a couple of postgraduate degrees from the best of the institutions in India, and that's because I was seeking knowledge. But the moment I went to Bombay, my whole life changed. And that's when I realized the money is very, very important, as much important as... and I fought a battle within myself because I need to rewrite the script into me and say money is important. Okay. So once I rewrote that script, then I realized that a lot of things started flowing. So this is the first mindset that I wanted to talk to you about.
Sure.
Folks, I just want to share this. Lakshmi and Saraswati get along beautifully well. It is we who coop them out. So I think we need to understand that there's no hassles between them. Yeah.
Okay.
The second mindsets that we're talking about is, if you look at the adjectives that people use typically to refer to a rich man, they'll say he's filthy rich, or they'll say stinking rich. So why are these negative adjectives there? I've always been perplexed about this. So somewhere down the line, there is a deep-rooted belief that seeking money is not good. Or maybe there is a belief that seeking money is anti-spiritual.
Wow.
Then you quote from Bhagavad Gita, you quote from various spiritual texts saying that Lord Krishna asked you not to seek desires and so on and so forth. So everything is kind of jumbled up and confused in the head. And that is what is causing people making half-hearted attempts in, say, working through a stock market, or they rewind pretty fast. So the mindset that I'm actually talking about is, somewhere people feel that money is not something that I will pursue. I should just get it.
Okay.
But if you don't pursue something, you won't get it.
Right, obviously.
Yeah. So the belief system need to be rewrote. All belief systems related to money, like money is evil, or if you get money, you get arrogant, or if you feel that if you have a lot of money, you'll lose relationships.
Sure.
This is one biggest fear that people have. Yeah. They'll say that no, he's very. Usually, people keep away from people who are rich. Yeah? So these are 3-4 mindsets that I think are very, very vital to understand.
Okay.
The last mindset before we go to the next phase of the interview is, I was told when I was young that stock market is a casino.
Gambling den.
Absolutely, it's a gambling den. In fact, I still remember my father giving me a visualization that if I go to stock market and I start putting my money, I will become a beggar on the road. And so the visualization is so powerful that whenever you even think of buying a stock, then immediately your mind visualizes yourself as a beggar on the road, and then you don't invest in that stock, right? So once I rewrote that conditioning to say that stock market is not a casino, but stock market has its own risks.
Okay.
Like crossing the road has got risks. Traveling by flight has got risks. And so stock market investment, or any investment for that matter, is only a matter of risk and not a matter of fear. So once this clarity emerged in my mind, I had to rewrite that mindset to say, I think it's important that we look at the risks of stock market, and then still you can just play with it.
Sure. Okay.
Yeah. So these are the first set of mindsets that I would like to speak to you about. If you have
great. No. So let's move on to the next phase of our discussion. The solutions. How does one get over these mindsets?
Excellent.
Because this is what you believe is actually standing between us and our financial freedom.
Absolutely. In fact, many people say, I don't have money to invest, and they are having a belief system deep inside that you need money to make money. If you actually dig through every statement that people make to you about money, in fact, there are many people who when I do a workshop on money, even in the class, they don't ask me questions. During the coffee break, they come and make sure that nobody's around, and then they look around, ensuring that nobody's around. They say, Ranga, you know what? I actually want to become rich, So there is some kind of a negativity towards that money making, which needs to be completely resolved. Now, before I come to how to overcome these mindsets, I also want to talk to you about these belief systems and mindsets. What have they created? So they've created a set of personalities.
Okay.
In all the interviews that I've conducted of various people, these personalities can be grouped nicely.
Okay.
I would like to speak about a few personalities. Is
Please.
it fine?
Yeah, please.
The first personality that I've come out with is something called blind followers.
Okay.
There is a new generation Gen Y person putting all his money in fixed deposits. Now, I'm not against fixed deposits. I'm just saying, when I go back and ask them, why did you put your money in fixed deposit? They say, that's where my father put it. I go and ask the father, they say, that's where my grandfather put it. Okay. Or my mentor put it. Now, you may follow whoever you want to follow. But the fact is, many of these people don't use their own intellect. They rely on somebody else's intellect to take those key decisions of life. Yeah. In fact, I know of many families where 90 to 95% of their investments is in fixed deposits. Okay. So these blind followers go ahead and follow whatever the people whom they look up to say. It can be a spiritual guru at some time. Okay. In fact, I know of, I don't want to mention the name, I know of a guru in an ashram where he says, we also have our own fixed deposit schemes. Why don't you give the money to us instead of going to the bank?
Okay. Got it.
Right. So they don't analyze, they don't check it out.
Sure.
Right?
Okay.
So these are blind followers. The second group of people I've seen are superficial assessors. Now, they look at everything from 30,000, 40,000 feet view. They're very rough kind of a lifestyle. Means, typically what they will say, Ranga, I'm 35 now and I have your 1 crore corpus. I can quit the job today and I can live till 80. No, they have not opened an Excel sheet in their life.
Okay.
They don't know what inflation is.
Right.
Okay. They don't know how long will that 1 crore last.
Right.
If they quit their job today.
Right.
Okay. Assuming it lasts for five years. After 5 years, are they relevant enough to find another job? So which means they don't look into details. They just look at a very broad level. So one such person, I asked him, okay, tell me something, 1 crore, how will you survive? What will you get? He said, see, Ramba, very simple. No? I get a 10% return or a 12% return. So 12% return on 1 crore is about a lakh per month. Ranga. So I said, what is your expenses? He said, about 50%, 50,000. I'm having double of it. He has no clue of his expenses. He has no clue of inflation. He has no clue of what his life will become after 5 years.
Wow.
Yeah. So there's a second personality I've seen, which is superficial assessors. The third group is a dangerous group called pseudo-spiritualists.
Okay.
They neither know about money nor know about spirituality.
Wow.
And they keep blaming Bhagavad Gita, they keep blaming Quran, and they keep blaming the Bible for saying that, these are the books and guidance principles that is stopping me from pursuing something. Okay. Now, I have actually studied these scriptures deliberately, just to see if at all our scriptures say that. Actually, no. In fact, our scriptures say the opposite of it. It says desiring and aspiration is a power. And you must use that power to harness the money. So pseudo-spiritualists were there, and that's a major issue.
Okay.
They're operating with a mindset called spirituality and materialism cannot coexist. It's a very important mindset I'm touching. Spirituality and materialism cannot coexist is a mindset, and that's a myth.
Right.
Okay. Let me take just a few examples.
Sure.
In, say, Shirdi, 1 lakh people eat free of cost. Assuming 100 rupee per plate, you need a crore per day. You need a crore per day, day by day, year on year. Where is the money coming from? Yeah, maybe the people there are not earning, but the fact is somebody is pumping the money in, right? So somewhere, if you see, in our scriptures, it's very clearly said, material wealth and abundance is as important as spiritual wealth and abundance. So materialism and spirituality go hand in hand. In fact, I would say they're two sides of the same coin. Right. So if we come over the belief deep inside us that materialism and spiritualism cannot coexist, if we conquer that belief, I think we can create a lot of abundance for ourselves.
So you can be rich and you can be spiritual.
You can be rich, really rich, and you can be really spiritual, and most importantly, you can be really knowledgeable also.
Got it.
It can be a combination of all these three. Right. Now, there's another group of people whom I met, what I call as fox and sour grapes. These guys have wanted money. And they have tried making it. They have made either half-hearted attempts or they have made attempts with poor knowledge, and they have failed. It's like a self-fulfilling prophecy. I start with the belief that I won't succeed. make a half-hearted attempt and I fail, and that reinforces my belief that I won't succeed, right? So many of these people, like the fox concluded that the grapes must be sour. They concluded that money is not relevant in life. Money is not important in life. This is a very, very dangerous group of people.
Money is important, actually.
Money is important in life,
Sure.
and I think we need to somewhere tell the people that relook at your mindsets and what you have become in the process.
Okay. Yeah.
Right. There is another dangerous group who I call as pretenders. They actually don't have money, but all their habits are as if they have tons of money.
Okay.
They throw parties. When they go for a wedding, they give a costly gift. They wear very costly branded products on their body all over the place. Okay? And then they project to the world that I think they're fine, but everything is credit carded, everything is kind of loaned, and they are in absolute deep mess. Yeah. And in fact, right now, I'm coaching at least about 30-35 families who have got into that kind of a mess because their children get into that kind of lifestyle. They have 2-3 cars. They have their EMI is far, far higher than their income. So these people get into a state of what is called pretending. They are very happy with just the perception that people have about them.
Okay.
Yeah. So I just have one message. It's more important to be really rich than it's important to show that you are.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah. Because I think they're focusing a lot more on just projecting and creating that kind of image and so on and so forth. Right?
Sure.
Of course, there are people who are really simple people. I really respect them. They are financially free. Going by one of your earlier podcasts where he said that if all my expenses can be covered by my income for which I don't need to work, is financial freedom. Very simple definition. If you go back to that definition, these people are, say, retired people. They have pension coming in. They have made sure that their lifestyle is well within that means and they don't have fancy aspirations and dreams. They are not dissatisfied people. They live in their own home where the EMI is paid out. And that's it. And they're very happy. Every minute they're happy about it. And this is a very simple lifestyle.
Right.
But even here, we have to also check whether they have ensured that all the risks related to their old age and
health,
medical and everything is just taken care. If it is not taken care, they are at a risk. But if it is taken care, I think they're fine. There's nothing wrong with them. I think they're perfectly okay with me.
Great.
So this is what it is.
Great.
Now, coming back to your question on what do I do? This is what I've realized. What do I do?
The takeaways for the listeners.
Takeaways, right? Yeah. I would like to share my one story. I went with all this belief system that money is not important and money is evil and casino and so on. I went to Bombay for my first job. That's where I realized the truth. Money is not everything in life, but make a lot of it before saying so.
Nicely said. Yeah.
And it's a very big realization for me because when I look around, a lot of people who are saying that, look, my time is spent in passion, my time is spent here, there. I freely support people, villagers, all those people who say that they're doing a lot of high-end spiritual work, actually sitting on a huge pile of cash. Their lifestyle is taken care, inflation taken care, everything's taken care.
Wow.
Right? And when I actually started studying about the stock market is when I realized it is just a set of risks to be managed. When there's a huge money to be made also there. Now, the first step that I did, which I would like to talk to you about is, I took a sheet of paper and wrote down physically the mindsets that are stopping me from being wealthy. I didn't make a mental note. I made a physical note. This is a very important step. When I make a physical note, I realize something like about 40 beliefs which I have, which will not make me make money. Beliefs related to spiritualism, beliefs related to entities like stock market, or beliefs related to even some astrological key advantages, disadvantages, and so on and so forth. Because I have a person who says that my birth star is this, which I cannot change, and for this birth star, money will never come.
So you cannot buy or sell certain things on certain dates?
Yes, absolutely.
Wow,
no,
okay.
In fact, for his birth star, money won't come. So he stopped making even an effort. Okay. So I realized I made a long list of these belief systems which is stopping me. And I started reworking on each of those belief systems. What I did, I took another sheet of paper and wrote the opposite of it. Okay. Like, I still have those papers with me. Spiritualism and materialism can coexist. Lakshmi and Saraswati can coexist. I made those correct statements and I started writing them on a daily basis. So when I handwrite, what happens? That messages go into the subconscious mind through the nervous system. It is proved in, it's called graphotherapy.
Sure.
Yeah. Sure. So I use that to reset my my belief systems. Then I actually took risks with caution and started removing all the money that I had on fixed deposits and then started investing the money.
Okay.
Third step that I did was I changed my circle of contacts. I was interacting only with people, all of them were thinking poverty. They were having the same mindsets as I am. Coming from a psychological background, I know that we can't stop influencing someone, nor can we stop being influenced, because mind is an open entity.
Correct.
Okay. Now, so which means I must be careful in not letting certain thoughts come into my head, and equally careful to make sure some other thoughts enter my head every day.
Okay.
So I deliberately started changing the network of people.
Okay.
I started interacting with people who were earlier referring to as filthy rich.
Okay. Okay.
I removed the adjective and I started looking up to them.
Right.
And I started interacting with them, started asking questions related to how to make money. My entire dialoguing process changed. So the kind of people I interact with, the kind of questions I asked, and the kind of actions I did. Now, all these three things put together in a couple of years started putting me on the path to actually making money. Right? The fourth thing that I did is fear and knowledge cannot coexist. I am afraid of a snake, which is 5 feet away, because I don't have the knowledge that a snake doesn't jump on a target unless it's within 1.5 feet. I'm afraid because I don't have the knowledge. So I realized that I must have relevant and deep knowledge on all kinds of instruments. Okay, what are the risks associated with it? I should not rely on someone else's knowledge. I should rely on only my own knowledge. So in spite of the fact that I have a group of advisors who manage my wealth now at this time, but they know that when they come to me, they have to come prepared, because I will understand every jargon that they speak. So I made sure that I continuously keep picking knowledge, which is very important.
So use knowledge to overcome your fears.
Absolutely.
And make it a strength.
Yes, make it a strength. And true knowledge converts your fear into caution.
Okay.
So then it becomes a risk to be managed. That's all, nothing else.
And caution is different from fear.
Caution is different from
Very
fear.
different.
Yes. Caution is logical, scientific phenomena related to risk management. Fear is a pure emotional phenomenon.
Interesting.
Okay. So we have to convert that into a set of risks to be managed, which is what I started doing for myself. Right. I presume your question was related to how to overcome, right? That's what I'm trying to answer,
of course. Okay. And I'm sure that what you're saying for yourself applies to the people you train,
Absolutely.
and to our listeners also.
Absolutely.
Okay.
So it is only in the last couple of years, we decided that we will take this knowledge to a whole lot of people, and then we started conducting workshops on financial freedom. And anyone who comes to me for coaching on becoming rich, the first thing I do is completely try to understand his mindsets and try to restructure the mindsets. Yeah.
Okay.
For example, I've heard some people say, Ranga, see, I have 1 crore. Is it okay to aspire for 2 crores? I'll say, why not 100? The moment I say, why not 100 is when they say, oh my God, what is this guy about? Okay. So you have to logically conquer their mindsets and say that you have to re-rate them. And which is possible.
Okay.
Right. So these are some of the ways by which I think we need to. First step is write it down. Write down all the mindsets on the paper. Write the opposite of it on the paper. I think it really helps.
I'm going to just recap this. Okay. Because
please.
First, like you said, is first write down your fears or whatever the perception that you have about money.
Right.
Okay. Which is holding you back.
Right.
Second is write the opposite of that. Okay. So when you say money is bad, right, when you're actually writing money is bad, then also write money is good.
Yeah.
And physically write it down on a piece of paper.
Absolutely.
That becomes the first two things.
And continue to write that for a period of 11, 21, 30, 38 days, whatever.
Sure.
Keep writing it. Yeah.
Until you confront it actually in piece of paper in front of you. That these are my beliefs and this is the opposite of that.
In fact, sorry for interrupting.
No, please.
I used to live in Bombay and I had all these thoughts about money correctly written down, stuck it all over my house.
Wow.
So wherever I turn, I go into a loo, one thought will hit me. The moment I close the door in the bedroom, that thought will hit me. I make sure that those thoughts hit me again and again.
So you're confronting them.
So that, no, I am rewriting the script. In fact, the first script, how did it come? That money is evil. Somebody wrote it again and again and again in my mind, right? So I have to now write something else again and again into my mind. So it was my way of scripting my mind.
Sure, got it.
Yeah.
Third actually, if I remember correctly, is change your circle of people. Okay?
Absolutely.
Okay, go to people who probably you feel you aspire to, people who are richer.
Correct.
Talk to them.
Yes.
Okay, find out what is their stories.
Correct.
Okay, and obviously you will use amount of discretion out there. I mean,
right.
All of us would like to go to meet Mukesh Ambani, but that's not possible.
Correct.
But you should inculcate that habit. Do you think that's right?
Absolutely correct. A small addition to this.
Sure.
It's not only a circle of friends. You have to change the topic of discussion. Earlier, in a month, if I interact with, say, 100 people, okay, I would not have spoken about money to anybody. I would have spoken about some other topic.
How's the weather? How's politics? How's
that
this?
is general.
Or
even some topic related to subject topics.
Okay.
Or related to some Vedanta, spirituality. This will be my topic of discussion. Now, consciously, what I did, whenever I meet people, I started talking about money.
Right.
So the circle of friends, circle of contacts, and the topic also changed.
Change the conversation.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Yeah.
And the last, like you said, is use knowledge.
Yes.
Wherever there is fear,
Yeah.
use knowledge.
Correct. Get
So-
to know more. Yeah.
Learn more. If you
Right.
think that stocks are dangerous, turn that around and learn more about stocks.
Correct.
Or mutual funds.
Correct.
Or whatever instrument you choose in investing.
Absolutely.
It could even be property, could be gold.
Yeah.
We are not interested in, the specific things.
Correct.
But learn more about that.
Right.
Don't be scared.
Yes. In fact, I would say it's a punchline. Reject anything with knowledge, not without.
Oh, fantastic.
Okay. Because, for example, Bitcoin was a very classic example. I didn't know anything about Bitcoins. And everywhere I read that Bitcoin is bad and blown. So I started digging and started building a lot of knowledge around it. Initially, I rejected Bitcoin. After 2 years, I rejected Bitcoin, but there was a difference. The first time I rejected it from an emotional plane,
Blindly.
blindly,
Right.
coming from a conditioning. Next time I rejected it through my intellect.
Okay.
Okay. As an output of an analysis that I had done. So the decision or the final state could be the same.
Correct.
But the way you reach there could be very different.
Yeah, you might say that FMCG stocks are a great place to have your money, or might be a bad place.
Yeah.
But it's different to say that from an emotion or a bias rather than to say the same thing after having researched it.
Absolutely.
Am I right in that?
Absolutely. In fact, many of the stock market people will know only one herd mentality. There are two herd mentalities.
Okay.
One herd is HERD. Another herd is HEARD.
Nicely done.
Okay. Many people say this stock will go up. I heard that it will go up. Go and buy it. And then when it follows down, you chase that guy and tell him that you lost my money. Actually, that guy didn't do anything. We lost our money, right?
Okay.
So both herd mentality and herd mentality are going to really stop you. So
Fantastic. Ranga, is there anything else that you want to tell our listeners about this? Mindset, personalities, how to overcome them?
I would say building a skill is easy. You just got to practice.
Okay.
Okay, like how do I learn swimming? You got to swim. Okay, how do I learn giving? You give.
Right.
Okay, you can't sit and meditate and learn swimming.
Right.
So same way, anything you do again and again, you become skilled, and you have to start doing things.
Okay.
So there is. It's not about just knowing something in the head. It's about actually getting in, rolling up your sleeves, and actually start doing it. You after this podcast, if somebody closes one fixed deposit out of the 100 they have, and then start learning something about stocks and then start putting that money in stock, I think this podcast should have served the purpose.
Oh,
That means at least for that fixed
it's
deposit,
kind of
you're now
you.
converting from fear into caution, and you're trying to take some steps out of it.
Sure.
Right.
Ranga, thank you so much. How does one get in touch with you? Because I think, if our listeners want to know more about you, want to reach
Yes.
out to you, because you're based in Bangalore.
Yes.
Okay. And for our Bangalore listeners out there, maybe how do they know more about you? Let's say that the firm that they're working for, someone says that I want Ranga to do a workshop for us.
Correct.
In financial freedom.
Right.
How does one do all of this?
I can share my mobile number. I can share my email ID, my address, everything.
You don't have a website?
Not yet. I've not developed a website yet.
And your email address? Then?
Mail address is it is Transformentor. Let me spell it up. Or maybe I'll just take a minute to explain.
Please.
Yeah, I just did a small research. I sent out a question to all my contacts who are very close to me, about close to about 1,000 of them who have attended my workshops. When you think of me, what are the words that come to your mind? And I collated all of it. At least about 400 people responded to that. When I collated all the words, 2 words stood out, which is transformation and mentoring.
Wow.
So I've created an identity called Transformentor. So that is my Twitter handle. That's my Facebook.
Okay, so I'll just hear it.
so-
TRANSFORMANTER. Okay.
Mentor. MENTOR.
Okay, let's just hear it again.
Yeah. Transformentor. TRANSFORMENTOR @gmail.com.
Folks, that's where you can reach him. And that's also your Twitter handle.
@Transformentor is my Twitter handle, and my Facebook is also search me out. A lot of things that we keep publishing. We conduct a lot of workshops on financial freedom. I have a wonderful team of people. In fact, I'm very grateful to Ravi for giving me this contact of Anupam, right? But for Ravi, I wouldn't be here. So there are a group of people who are very actively participating in this. My wife, Meena Krishnamurthy, is also into this, and we conduct all our workshops together, right? Her specialization is on a different topic related to financial freedom. I thought maybe she could do a separate podcast with you sometime.
Next time I'm here, sure, of course.
So
of course, yeah.
that that is the reason I said, no, mindsets and personalities don't go well with what she's going to talk about. She's going to talk about something far more technical and deeper, which is important. So that's the reason I thought it could be a separate podcast.
I would encourage you to start your own podcast. You should do it maybe once in a month. There's so much that you have to say that people can benefit so much from learning. I hope that you and your wife actually start that.
Thank you. Definitely, yes.
Please do that. And a special thanks to Ravi Ivatsuri, who has introduced Ranga to me via Twitter. Ravi, thank you so much for listening to Paisa Vaisa. Thank you so much for introducing Ranga to us. You guys, whenever you're in Bombay, please drop in.
Thank you.
We'd love to host you there also. And folks, that is a wrap on this show. The Mindset special on Paisa Vaisa with Ranga, that's Srinivasan Ranganathan. Ranga, who has helped us understand a lot of our mindsets and personalities that get into the way of financial freedom, and most importantly, how to overcome all of them. And he gave you his email address if you want to reach out to him. His mail address is there. He's there on Twitter. Thank you, Ranga. Thank you so much for doing this for us.
Wonderful.
Wish you all the best for all your workshops.
Thank you. Million thanks to you, Anupam. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
No material on the show should be considered as financial advice. The material on the show is for informational purposes only. Please consult a financial advisor before taking any investment decision.
नमस्ते, मैं हूँ सौरभ चंद्रा
और मैं प्रणय कोटस्थाने।
जब महफिल खत्म होते होते दरवाजे के बाहर पुलिया के ऊपर हम दुनिया भर की जटिल समस्याओं को सॉल्व करने में लग जाते हैं तो हो जाती है पुलियाबाजी।
अब आजकल के अपार्टमेंट वालों ने तो कभी पुलिया देखी नहीं होगी, पर आप फीलिंग तो समझ ही सकते हैं।
तो आइए शामिल हो जाइए हमारी पुलियाबाजी में, जहां प्रणय और मैं एक से एक इंटरेस्टिंग टॉपिक्स की तह तक जाएंगे।
आर्टिफिशियल इंटेलिजेंस, बिटकॉइन, पाकिस्तान, मेडिकल एजुकेशन, करेंसी क्राइसिस, कभी हम दोनों के साथ और अक्सर स्पेशल एक्सपर्ट गेस्ट की कंपनी में।
सुनिए हमें IVM की वेबसाइट, ऐप या अपने फेवरेट पॉडकास्टिंग प्लेटफॉर्म पर हर दूसरे हफ्ते।
Hi, I'm Anupam Gupta, B50 on Twitter, and listen in to the Equity Sahiya podcast brought to you by Motilal Oswal Asset Management Company. The Equity Sahiya podcast offers deep investment insights into the potential of many sectors in India which are growing and have a lot to offer for your portfolio. New episodes out every Tuesday on the IVM Podcast app or any other app where you get your podcasts from.